Control tools and techniques expanded. The control plan is a living document, not just a form to be filled. It evolves as the process matures. Its main role is to monitor critical process variables, those key inputs or steps that directly impact the outcome. It ensures that the improved process continues to meet performance targets like quality, cost, and delivery. The plan clearly outlines responsibilities, who monitors what, when checks are performed, and what corrective actions to take if variation is detected. Ultimately, it's a sustainability tool. It helps lock in the gains and prevents backsliding into old habits. Emphasize to participants: if it's not being monitored, it's not being controlled. Key components of a control plan. Let's break down what makes a control plan effective and actionable. Process step. This is the exact task or activity we're monitoring. It could be something like packing, data entry, or invoice approval. Metric characteristic. What are we measuring? This could be cycle time, error rate, defect count, or any other critical to quality parameter. Specification target. What's the acceptable performance range? For example, cycle time, 8 to 10 minutes, or error rate less than 2%. Measurement method. How are we capturing the data? Are we using ERP systems, manual logs, sensors, or automated dashboards? Frequency. How often is the data collected? Hourly, daily, weekly. Frequency should match the process risk level. Responsible person. Clearly assign accountability. Someone has to own the monitoring and follow-up. Reaction plan. If the metric goes out of control, what action do we take? This could include pausing the process, root cause investigation, or escalation. A strong control plan minimizes surprises and supports continuous control without micromanaging. Example breakdown. In a call center, one of the critical metrics is first call resolution, FCR%, meaning how many customer issues are resolved on the first call. The team uses CRM reports to track this metric. The target is 85% or higher. If the FCR rate drops below 80% for 3 consecutive days, that's a red flag. A root cause analysis is triggered immediately to find out what's going wrong and take corrective action. This is a great example of how a reaction plan is clearly defined within a control plan. Proactive, not reactive. Section 2. Standard work documentation. Purpose. Standard work is the backbone of consistency in any process. Without it, even the best improvements can fall apart. The goal is to ensure that every team member performs the task the same way, regardless of shift, location, or experience level. This helps us minimize variability, reduce errors, and improve quality. It's not just a document. It's a foundation for training, performance measurement, and continuous improvement. When followed and updated properly, standard work ensures stability, repeatability, and ultimately, sustained gains. Remind learners, if it's not written down, it's not standard. Types of standard work documentation. Let's look at the 3 main types of documentation used to support standard work. 1. Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs. These provide step-by-step guidance on how to perform an entire process. SOPs ensure that no important step is skipped and everyone follows the same structure. 2. Work Instructions. These are more detailed and task-specific than SOPs. For example, if the SOP says enter customer data, the work instruction shows exactly how to do it, with screenshots or system steps. 3. Job aids. These are quick reference tools, like checklists, flowcharts, cheat sheets, or visual diagrams placed at the point of work. They help reinforce memory and reduce reliance on training for routine tasks. Each type serves a purpose, SOPs ensure overall consistency. Work instructions support accuracy, and job aids make real-time work easier. Example. Let's look at a real-world example. A warehouse team updated its SOPs to include new barcode scanning protocols. The result? Faster onboarding for new employees, reduced training time, and fewer errors in inventory handling. This shows how even a small update in documentation can lead to major improvements in efficiency and accuracy. Black Belt Edition. For black belts, documentation should meet a higher standard. Ensure SOPs are ISO compliant where necessary. Keep them intuitive, easy to follow even for new users. Use visual flowcharts and quick reference guides to enhance usability and reduce misinterpretation. Great documentation doesn't just exist, it's used and trusted. E-learning. Tip. In digital learning, engagement is key. Show animated comparisons of the old versus new standard work. Include interactive quizzes where learners identify missing or incorrect steps in an intentionally flawed SOP example. This approach makes the learning practical and memorable. Section 3. Mistake proofing. Poka-Yoke. Purpose. Poka-Yoke means mistake proofing. It's about designing processes or devices that either prevent errors from happening or catch errors immediately when they occur. The goal is to reduce human error, which is often the biggest source of defects or problems in any process. Mistake proofing helps ensure quality and reliability without relying solely on people's memory or vigilance. Types of mistake proofing. 1. Prevention. This approach designs out the possibility of error. The process or device physically blocks the error from occurring. Example: USB cables that only fit one way, so you can't plug them in incorrectly. 2. Detection. This identifies an error before it causes any harm or downstream issues. Example: barcode scanning at shipping verifies the right product is sent out. Examples to relate: USB cables that only fit one way, a classic prevention Poka-Yoke. Barcode scanning before shipping detects if an item is incorrect. Drop-down menus in digital forms prevent invalid data entries. Mistake proofing is a simple but powerful tool in building error-resistant processes. Green Belt Role. Green belts focus on finding simple, practical mistake-proofing opportunities within their teams or processes. These might be small fixes like labeling, error-proof fixtures, or checklist improvements. Black Belt Role. Black belts take a deeper approach by designing mistake-proofing systems, often involving automation, software controls, or more complex solutions. Their work helps build robust, scalable error prevention mechanisms. E-learning tip. Engage learners by challenging them to find 3 real mistake-proofing opportunities in their own workplace or daily tasks. Ask them to submit photos or sketches showing their ideas. This encourages practical thinking and makes learning relatable and hands-on. Section 4. Process Management Dashboards. Purpose. Dashboards are powerful tools that provide real-time visibility into how a process is performing. They help managers and teams monitor key metrics continuously and spot any issues before they become big problems. This proactive approach enables faster decision-making and keeps improvement efforts on track. Key elements of a dashboard. Key metrics. Focus on the metrics that matter most to the project's goals. The why variables. Status indicators. Use red, amber, green, rahe colors to quickly show if performance is on track or needs attention. Assigned owners. Clearly show who is responsible for each metric and how often data is updated. Drill down features. Allow black belts or advanced users to dig deeper into data for root cause analysis or detailed tracking. Dashboards are not just reports. They are action enablers. Dashboard formats. Dashboards can be created and displayed in different formats, depending on your organization's needs and resources. Excel dashboards are common and flexible for many teams, allowing easy customization. Wall-mounted scoreboards provide a physical, visual reminder of current performance and encourage team accountability. Digital tools like Power BI and Tableau offer advanced data visualization, real-time updates, and interactive drill-down capabilities. Choosing the right format depends on factors like accessibility, user skills, and the complexity of data. Example. Here's a practical example. A plant uses a dashboard that tracks hourly defect counts. If defects are between 0 to 2, the status is green. Between 3 to 5 defects, it turns yellow. Above 5 defects, it shows red. If the supervisor sees a red status for 2 shifts in a row, they investigate immediately to find and fix the root cause. This kind of visual, real-time monitoring helps catch issues early and keeps quality on track. E-learning tip. For training, use screen recordings that walk learners through building a basic Excel dashboard step by step. How to interpret the colors and trends. This hands-on approach helps learners understand dashboard utility and boosts their confidence in using these tools. Section 5. Response plans. Purpose. Response plans are predefined, documented steps to follow when something goes wrong. Instead of relying on gut feeling or improvisation, teams have a clear, consistent way to react. This ensures faster resolution, reduces confusion, and limits impact on the process or customers. Common scenarios and responses. For example, if the defect rate exceeds 5%, the plan might say to check materials and retrain the team, with the team leader responsible. If there's a system delay over 10 minutes, switch to a backup server, managed by the IT admin. In case of a missed delivery, notify the customer and escalate the issue, which is the project manager's role. Having these actions documented with clear owners improves accountability and response speed. Benefits of response plans. They ensure fast and standardized actions whenever a problem occurs. They help avoid decisions based on emotion or guesswork, which can worsen the situation. Overall, they accelerate problem resolution and help maintain process stability. E-learning tip. Incorporate role-playing scenarios during training. For example, ask learners, what should a supervisor do if the error rate suddenly spikes? Provide multiple response plan options to choose from. This interactive approach helps learners internalize the response plans and prepares them for real situations. Section 6. Visual controls. Purpose. Visual controls help make the health and performance of a process instantly visible to everyone. They are simple, intuitive signals that anyone can understand without special training. This transparency enables faster response to issues and reinforces standardized ways of working. Types of visual controls. Color-coded boards. Use colors like green for OK and red for when attention is needed. Shadow boards. Tools have specific outlined slots, so it's obvious if something is missing or out of place. Floor markings and signs. Guide movement, safety zones, or workflow areas. Kanban bins. Trigger replenishment automatically when inventory reaches a certain level. These visual signals keep the team aligned and process smooth. Example. Imagine a whiteboard that shows the daily resolution time for issues. Green, if resolution is under 24 hours. Yellow if between 24 and 48 hours. Red if it takes longer than 48 hours. This color-coded visual instantly communicates how well the team is performing and highlights areas needing attention. E-learning. Tip. Ask learners to analyze photos of actual work areas and identify where visual controls are missing or could be improved. This activity helps them understand the practical value of visual controls and spot real-world gaps. Section 7. Layered Process Audits. LPAS Purpose. LPAS are regular structured audits conducted at multiple organizational levels such as operators, supervisors, and managers. The goal is to confirm that processes are being followed as designed and to catch problems early before they escalate. This layered approach increases accountability and provides multiple checkpoints for quality and compliance. How LPAs work. Each role performs audits at different frequencies. For example, operators might check daily, supervisors weekly, and managers monthly. Audits use simple checklists that make observations straightforward and standardized. All findings are logged and tracked to ensure corrective actions are completed and issues don't repeat. Here's an example of how routine checks can build a strong foundation for workplace discipline and safety. We conduct daily 5S audits by team leaders and weekly safety checks by managers. All this data is compiled and visualized using a dashboard. This not only gives us real-time insights, but also helps in improving our processes. The benefits are threefold. It builds a culture of accountability across teams. It prevents drift from the set standards. It encourages leadership to be actively involved in the shop floor. E-learning. Tip. You can create a simulated LPA, Layered Process Audit checklist, with deliberate errors. Let learners conduct a virtual audit to identify those issues. This interactive activity helps reinforce learning in a practical way. Section 8. Documentation and handover for sustainability. Purpose. The final documentation and training are crucial to ensure that improvements are sustained after the project ends. Without proper handover, there is a risk of processes regressing back to old habits. Key deliverables. A finalized control plan that clearly defines ongoing monitoring responsibilities. Updated standard operating procedures, SOPs, and visual aids posted at the workplace. Training sessions completed and documented for current and future team members. Formal handover to process owners with sign-off, confirming their accountability for sustaining the improvements. Example: a Greenbelt project wraps up with a training session for department leads on how to use the project dashboard. The project is officially closed by sending an acknowledgement email and archiving all relevant documents. This ensures that the team is prepared to sustain the improvements independently. E-learning. Tip. Show learners a sample project closure presentation through a video or storyboard. This helps them understand the key elements of a successful closure and how to communicate results clearly. Let's quickly review the key tools and their purposes that help sustain process improvements. Control plan keeps critical process steps monitored to ensure performance stays on target. Standard work makes sure everyone does the process consistently, reducing variability. Mistake proofing prevents errors or catches them early before they cause bigger issues. Dashboards provide a clear, real-time visual of how the process is performing. Response plans guide quick, standardized actions when problems occur. Visual controls make it easy for everyone to see performance status and any issues immediately. Layered Process Audits, LPA, build accountability at all levels and maintain standards regularly. Final documentation ensures a smooth handover so process ownership is clear and improvements last.